What's up, everybody? I'm Joe Parker with the Santa Barbara Group at Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate, and right now I'm in Hope Ranch here in Santa Barbara, one of the most affluent, amazing, beautiful communities with bridle trails, private beaches, tennis courts, security. I'm going to tell you all about it. Come along for this ride. You're not going to want to miss this if you've been considering Hope Ranch as a place for you to land. So you can see right behind me is a golf course. A lot of people come to Hope Ranch thinking that this community has its own private golf course. That's not really the way it is. Actually, the golf course belongs to La Cumbre Country Club, which happens to be right in the middle of Hope Ranch. You can join it. You could join on different levels of memberships, all the way up from, I think, a full membership to the junior memberships, social, tennis, but golfing is really what you want to do here because it's one of the best golf courses in the whole Santa Barbara area. Right now there's water in the lake. It was dry last year. Today it's full, so it's a really great experience to golf here. So in the 1930s, a gentleman with the last name Hope bought the land here at Hope Ranch to develop cattle farming. He was gonna put cattle on it, and then it started turning into an ostrich farm. They started raising ostriches on here. And then they decided that, hey, you know what, this would be a great spot for really affluent housing. And they worked with a designer for a master plan to come up with housing in this neighborhood, and this is how it started. It started with just a few homes, and instead of going the farming route, they went the residential route, and they envisioned this grand community with bridle trails. That's what I'm on right now. There's about 26 miles of horseback riding trails that meanders all the way through. Just imagine living here underneath all these oaks, getting on the horse in your backyard and going for a ride. You could even ride right down to the private beach that we're gonna tell you about as well. So that's part of this community. They had this master plan, and this is the vision coming all together. All these beautiful homes, all these amenities for people to enjoy right in their own backyard. The most popular amenity for Hope Ranch residents has to be the private beach. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen as far as private beach access goes. Everyone who lives in Hope Ranch gets a key card where they get to drive up to the gates of the private beach, scan themselves in, and then you drive down this long driveway with all the oak trees. It's very idyllic. There's a parking lot. You never have to worry about parking. It's usually always a spot available for you. And you could drive down, drop all your stuff off. Right here, there's a nice little cul-de-sac that goes around. You could drop all your gear off, your guests off, and then make your way back up and park your car. This beach setup is like a full-on beach club. They've got restrooms here. They've got cabanas, and they even have changing rooms, storage lockers, everything you need to really dive into the beach lifestyle. They have a lot of community parties here where on the weekends in the summertime, residents gather, have cookouts out on the beach here, spend their time. They put a floating platform out there in the ocean, and all the kids get to swim out there and play on it. It really becomes a central hub for socializing, especially during the summertime or during the fall, winter, when we get those beautiful bluebird days where the sun's shining, it's 80 degrees out, and you call your relative on the East Coast and they're in the snow. Those are the days where living in Hope Ranch really pays dividends, because you're out here playing on the beach while everyone else is suffering in the snow on the East Coast, and you're living it up right here. So the beach has got to be one of the best features of Hope Ranch. Some interesting facts I found out in researching this video was that this building right here down on the beach in Hope Ranch was a speakeasy in the late 20s and into the 30s until the end of Prohibition. They used to bring in the booze by boat, hang out here and drink it. And in fact, this area was raided about 3 times by feds during that time when it was being used as a speakeasy, but they just regroup and get their program back together and keep partying. So kind of a fun little history about this beach club right down here at the Hope Ranch Beach. You'll notice that the beach is full of rocks right now. That's not normal. We just had an intense winter where we got almost 40 inches of rain, a lot of big storms. All the sand got stripped away, but rest assured that sand is slowly drifting back down the coast, and that beach will be full of sand sometime in the near future. My prediction is by this summer. Located in the parking lot here at the beach of Hope Ranch is this picnic area. There's more restrooms up here. It's got several little areas where you could set up a barbecue. You could host maybe 100+ people in here because there's several big tables and gigantic barbecues. So right above the beach, if you're having a barbecue up here with friends and family or whatever the celebration may be, you're just down the hill from that beach. Really cool little feature of the neighborhood here. So now that we're really diving into what it's like to live in Hope Ranch, let's talk about the real estate in this community. Now there's 773 plots of land, and they're really organically shaped, spread out over the undulating hills. One of the things about Hope Ranch is They've got these great little rolling hills which give all these opportunities to shape a lot in order to create these amazing building pads that bring in the views of the Pacific Ocean and of the mountains. It's really a lot of wonderful perspectives in this one little community due to the undulations of the hills. And these plots of land are ranging in size from 1 acre all the way up to close to 18 acres. Some of the biggest lots you'll find along the bluff, which are also some of the most expensive homes in Hope Ranch. Properties here range in price from $3 million to start on up to $20 million and in excess of $50 million for a top sales price for the community. Some homes in Hope Ranch have horse facilities that are amazing because you could get right onto your horse and hit the bridle trails, ride all the way to the beach. When shopping for a home in Hope Ranch, you could expect to see a wide variety of homes just like other areas of Santa Barbara. There's some original ones that have been in families for decades, and then there's some that have been rebuilt or newly constructed, so it is quite the mix. In comparison to its other exclusive neighbor, Montecito, Hope Ranch has a more private, slow-paced feel to it. This is probably due to the fact that it doesn't have commercial villages like Montecito, and it's just a lot smaller. Located in the middle of Hope Ranch is the world-class Laguna Blanca College Preparatory Day School. This private school serves grades K through 12 and is world-renowned for its creative education. They have special programs that get kids excited about learning. Laguna Blanca provides students with a supportive community that promotes deep learning and values balance and well-being. With its thriving experiential learning, Lego, STEM, TEDx, and arts programs, and competitive athletics and state-of-the-art facilities, students are offered a multitude of areas to explore their passions. There are a lot of amenities in Hope Ranch, including private tennis courts here. These tennis courts are available for the community. I'm seeing 2 of them here. I don't see any pickleball courts here yet. I know that's becoming really popular, but the tennis courts are some of the amenities available to the residents that live here in Hope Ranch. Hope Ranch has its own private security patrol, 24/7 monitoring the community. You can call them if you need something, and they're just looking out for anything suspicious, so you got that peace of mind when you're living here in Hope Ranch. Also, these streets we're walking on are perfect for urban hiking. You could get out of your house and walk around all these roads, all these streets. You've got the main thoroughfare behind us here. This cuts all the way from one entrance to the other entrance in Hope Ranch, but these other streets that kind of spaghetti around the community and get up to all the other houses, they wind through these streets with lots of shade, so if it's a hot sunny day you can get in the shade, and they also provide plenty of hills, so if you like to get that extra exercise, maybe you want to hit your bike and climb some of these, you can get a lot of good workout. Now, all the homes here in Hope Ranch are on septic systems. It's not hooked up to the city sewer. The water is supplied by La Cumbre Water Company. This is a private mutual water company. Everyone in Hope Ranch has a fractional ownership in it. Now, there's also association dues for all these amenities. You know, you've got the tennis court, the bridle trails, the private security, the private beach, all the roads are maintained, and this costs about, on average, $2,600 for each owner. The way they assess it is based on your lot size and then a bunch of other factors where they split up some of these costs to divvy them up to all the owners here in Hope Ranch. Just outside of Hope Ranch is La Cumbre Plaza right here. So on the other side of the parking lot, you see Bristol Farms, really nice grocery store. We also have Lure Fish House, one of my favorite restaurants. Islands, there's a Chipotle over here, Backyard Bowls, and best of all, my office, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services California Properties, right over there on State Street. So this is where we're at, this is what we're selling. I hope you're liking it. Another thing I see people getting confused about here in Hope Ranch is that this isn't Hope Ranch. In fact, if you know this spot, it's a little lookout. There's Campanile Hill up there that's adjacent to Hope Ranch, and that is often confused as being a part of Hope Ranch, but it's not. It lives much like it, but you don't have the amenities. And another thing to check out, look at this. Since we can't get to the bluff front homes in Hope Ranch, they're behind huge gates, this is what it looks like if you're living on the bluff in Hope Ranch. You got these great ocean views. So clearly Hope Ranch is an amazing place to live. So what are some of the negatives? What are some of the cons about living in Hope Ranch? Well, clearly it's expensive, so there's the cost. There's also a lack of inventory. You know, on average, I think so far this year, there's been about 6 sales in Hope Ranch, so there's not a lot that pops up. And also, you've got kind of a lack of diversity here in Hope Ranch, so that's kind of what you get in this area. And again, you get some noise from airplanes in Hope Ranch. The closer you are to the beach, the more you may be impacted by that, but something to consider. You don't hear it very often, but definitely as you get a little closer to the beach, that could be one of the cons. So those are the ones that I could think of, the negatives, but not many. Hope Ranch is a pretty dreamy place to land. So we've explored the beach at Hope Ranch, we've seen the bridle trails, we've seen the tennis courts. You know about the shady streets, the big homes, the littler homes, the expensive homes. I hope this tour of Hope Ranch is giving you a great idea of what it would be like to live here. There's a lot more to it. I would love to show you around the community if you're ever in town and you want to see Hope Ranch in person, but feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have about this video. You can comment right in the comments below. That's a great way to interact. Also, look in the description for a link to ways that we could connect. You could sign up for our newsletter. We put that out every other week. It gives you all the information about real estate in Santa Barbara and what's happening in the community. That's a great way to keep in touch with Santa Barbara. Also, we could sign you up with personalized listing alerts, so Hope Ranch gets sent right to your inbox, including all the details you get only in the Santa Barbara MLS. It's full of reports and disclosures, or we could just sit down and have an in-person consultation. I'm Joe Parker with the Santa Barbara Group at Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. Thanks for watching. If this video has been valuable for you, check out the channel. We've got other deep dives into the various neighborhoods of Santa Barbara, and we're loading new ones all the time, including drive-alongs that take you on our broker caravan tour where we drive around town and get into houses. So we're making this channel for you guys. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.